Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. I think the other student has also left. Okay, let me share my screen so we can start. About me, I suppose you're the only one in section today in class. Okay, let's start. Others are going to join, and since we have the opportunity of a recorded section, that's something they're going to find the record useful, and we also spare some time to watching that. Okay, in the last section, we're talking to you. I think we were busy trying to provide some directions on the test of oral, and we're working on vowel sounds. And now we understand better that, okay, it is not about letters, it is actually about sound. But what I did was to teach test of oral using phonetic environment. And what does phonetic environment implies? It simply means I began to teach test of oral in the light of letters. For example, you have letter A. I remember that section. Let's say you have the word A. What matters to you is the underlying letters. If you remember, that was what we discussed. Let's say you have the word water, water, and A is underlined. A is underlined. Okay, so it is that A that matters to us. What sound does that A produce? What sound does that A create? All right, then we go through the options and try identify the option that is also producing a similar sound. Okay, so it's not AA, like water, water. So I am not expecting WASTE to be the right option for that. A is on the line, WATER, then I have the option WASTE. I can't because the A in that one sounds like A, waste, but the A in the WATER sounds like oh, water. Okay, so I won't be surprised to choose an option, for example, hypothetically, SAW, saw. I'm going to choose that kind of option, even though it does. Oh, this one also has AW, but I don't want the one with AW. Let's say I have something like Lord, LORD. So I'm going to choose that kind of option because it has the same sound as WATER. In WATER, the A or, and that has the same sound as what I have in LORD or Lord. So it's about sound. All right. So what have I decided to do here? I said, okay, fine. I know the trouble is always with two options in most cases, and I call this final touch on vowel sounds. So we're not going to be looking at vowel sound after this section, so we can progress to something else. Final touch on vowel sounds. Question 1 to 15. The question 1 to 15 is anchored on vowel sounds, which I suppose is easier. Look at this question. Spot, S-P-O-T. O is on the line. You have other options. So I just decided, so, okay, in the worst case scenario, it's always about those two options that sound alike. And that was when I began to talk to you guys about the long sound and the short sound. So you have spot. The O is on the line and the O sounds like oh. I have option A, spot. Option B, slot. All right. Option A, spot. Option B, slot. Let's even allow you, if you're going to make a choice between A and B, granted the fact that you're supposed to have four options, but I know in most cases, two options, so to speak, they're rubbish. They don't usually sound like the underlined sound. Okay, why not focus on that? Why not focus on what you can call the hot spots? The odd spot is that point where it seems like, if not for this one, I should be able to answer this question correctly. But so if not for this one that is also sounding like the right one, let's not deal with that, because that would happen in the exam. Is the reality of that exam. So I have sports. The O sounds like as O. Option A sounds like O. B also sounds like O. You see, the right answer here is B, slot. How? Don't bother. This is what you need to master. For the sport, okay, when you have this O sound, just look at the letters producing this O. OR will produce O like core. AL also could produce O like ball. AW could produce O like saw. OUR could produce O like four. You see, these letter combinations produce the long O. You know, I've told you there's something like the long and the short. So the exam is short, short, short and short will match. Long and long will match. So don't do long and short. Okay? So sport, you're wondering, is this sport now long or short? Don't bother yourself. Just master the long ones. And then look at what I did. As I say, consider others as short. The ones that are long as far as you are concerned are ORALAWOUR. So, and it is long, long. So when you look at the first option, that one get OR. So that means it must be long. When you look at the question you're given sport, it doesn't have OR, not AL, no AW, no UR. It must be short. So the other ones must be short. And that means the answer is now what? B. Then, so that's about we're gonna have a practice section. Then number 2. This one is A. Just the way we have dealt with O, you can also have the trouble with A. For example, crest. The E gives us A. Crest, A. And we have these two options, fame, many. Both of them have something like A. There is A in fame. There is A in many. There is A in fame. There is A in many. That's the way it happens in the exam. There is always this one that will be imitating the right one, just giving us headache. We can deal with it. What do? You just know that since this one is giving me A and the other one is also giving me A, it tells me it is now a game of long and short. The one on the line is also giving me here. It's now a game of long and short. What are the long possibilities? IR will give me long. So the fame must be long. ER will give me long, like serve. OR will give me long, like work. OUR will give me long, like Jen. That thing is pronounced Jenny. You need to master some spellings, especially as you have them in WAEC, very, very common. That thing is Jenny. You have to master it. Forget the fact that you pronounce it as Johnny. I also call it Johnny, but I know, rightly speaking, that thing is Jenny. You are going to an exam for Canada, so you must understand that even though I'm going to tell someone I'm going on a journey, I at least know that this thing is Jenny and it's going to help me in the exam. So it's not that you're trying to impress anyone or you're sounding literally pompous. That is A, and you must just take it away. It is Jenny, that's the right one. So it doesn't matter. I just told you, I also pronounce it Johnny. That is not to say I don't know that thing is Jenny. Okay, so we have bed, IR, long, ER, long, OR, long, OUR, long. I just look at IR long, but I don't have those letter combinations in B and that that I'm given. So the answer must be B, because the B does not have the properties of long. It doesn't have IR, ER, OR, OUR. So it must be short. And the word I'm also given does not have the property of the long. So it must also be what? Short. So the answer then becomes many. Now, before we proceed, let's go back again to the beginning. We started with O. Final touch on vowel sounds. We're not visiting this anymore unless there's a question or there's a special demand for it. Final touch on vowel sounds. You have vowel sound in question 1 to 15. The problem is I've reduced the options. And that's because when you have four options, two are usually um, unrelatable. You can clearly say that these two don't even look like what we're saying here. We're talking about or. These two, one is talking like one is like ah, the other one is like ooh. They're not related, but two would be very, very, very close, like this one, spot and slot. When this happens, what it means is it is a game of long and short. Examiners are testing my understanding of long and short. Long and short. How do I then know? Since it's an exam, you just need to master some things. ORALAWOUR. You can master it if you care enough. People who have mastered it because they care about it. So you can write it somewhere on your calendar, look at it, write it, look at it. Your brain is too much for AOR. No, 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 no. Your brain is too much for that. In fact, we're told that the brain, the capacity of the brain is like that of the sky. As wide as it is, the brain can keep acquiring. And this doesn't even look like 0.00.1 of what we're talking about. Okay. So I look at ORALAWOUR. So this is those ones are long. So I know option A, there must be long, but B and the given word do not have the properties of the long. The properties of the long are ORALAWOUR. And the answer becomes what? B short. And then we went, so that's about O. And we proceeded to the one of air. So there is a possibility of crest, fen, many. There is also air. I just know the examiner is testing my knowledge of short and long. So I need to master the possibilities or the properties of long. IREROROUR. Then I say, oh, fen. This A is long, but the other ones do not have the property of the long. Then the crest must be short. And I say the answer is B. Then number 3, seed. Seed. And I have the two options, receive and milk. EE. I just know when this happens, the examiner is testing the knowledge of long and short. Then I say, let's say the properties of the long. EE. Then I look. EI, okay, A, it has the property of the long. The given word EE has a property of the long. So, and it is long, long. So the answer must be receive. IL, you see, consider others as short. So IL must be short. EE is in the long. EI is in the long. So the answer is long, long. And the answer to that one is receive. Okay. Can you please write this down? I will also have a quiz on these three sounds. I want you to determine what are you going to choose. I'm just gonna prepare it. Okay, I'll just leave that with only two. I'll create just only two options, and then I'll create only two options. They'll be very related, and I'll need you to choose the right one. And I mean, you have already started applying. So please take notes that right now while you're also writing. Just copy what makes what the properties of the long only. Since the other ones are to be assumed as short, just copy down the properties of the long only. Properties of the long, and you'll be fine. Okay, so let's have a short practice. Number 1. Then number 2. Are we done copying the letters for the O and for the A and for the E? So let me scroll down to the E so that we can have a very quick text on those three sounds. And after that, we can proceed. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. Okay. And then the last one, E. Okay, I think we're set. Let's just get a quiz now on the screen. I have about 7 questions. I think three on each one of them. No, okay, maybe just one of them is just one. Okay, what do I expect you to do? Apply your knowledge of these letter combinations now. I only, each of the questions comes with just two options, and the options will sound alike. Just use your knowledge of the phonetic environment, which has to do with the letter combination, all right, to deal with the question. Okay, so let's get it here. Okay, so we have our quiz. So if you look at number one, door, and then number two, you have core, flog, or, but just use a letter combination. Two, you have call, law, not, use a letter combination. Three, you have bought, cost, more, use a letter combination. 4, you have wet, many, get, use a letter combination. 5, you have work, bed, bed, use a letter combination. And I'll show you 6 and 7. So let's see what we can do. Or maybe just only, okay. All right. Just 5 minutes, please. So we still have something to discuss. Are we on this already? Please just use your emoji. Let me be sure we're on the same page. Are we working on this already? Hello, use your emoji. Let's be sure you guys are working. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. So once you're ready, put your answer in the use the chat. I'm not seeing your screen. It might be your network. It's right there. I think user just confirmed she has become work on this. Okay, I might suggest you relog in, but it's okay here. Type out your answers, please, when you're through. Use the chat box.
So how do I type?
Hello, I beg your pardon. Hello, is someone trying to ask a question? Oh, you're done. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's just get one more person. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we still have 2 more, but okay, good. Let's assume the person is also working on the. Let's assume they are done working on the first 2, so that we can review the last 2 for you. Okay, so you have additional 2, please.
So I'm done.
Okay, out you. Hello, out you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's look at the answers. Number 1. Okay, number 1 is A. 2 is A. 3 is A. 4 is A. 5 is A. 6 is B. 7 is B. Okay, that works. And that's the way it is. All right, so we'll go on. Then the next one is talking about all. or bottle, frog, bottle, frog. What do we need to do? We just need to understand that. Okay. We just need to understand that it's all about long and short. Oh, this that sound is being repeated. I think I will repeat that. Oh yeah, that's the one for do ko. Okay, that sound was only repeated. So let's look at number 4. Man, 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 dam, basket, dam, basket. All you need to do is just to master the combination. Just master the letter combination. So let's see. So for the long one, these are the letters to learn. A-R, A-S, A-L, A-F, A-T-H. They're going to give it a long one. Okay? If you look at that, man, that man doesn't have the properties of the long one. No AR, no AS, no AL, no AF, no ATH. It doesn't have the long property, and that means that man must be short. But if you look at the options, AS basket has a long, and you cannot have long and short. So the answer must be down. Then we have the oo sound. Should, push, should, push. It means that you are also dealing with the issue of long and short here. All right. So, and when you look at that, so tell me the answer. You have the property of the long and the short there. And so let's hear from you. Which one do you think is right? Since you have the property. Yeah, I'm listening. So which one is correct? Who's talking to us? So the correct one, you can see the combinations, they are there.
Yes,
The letters are
correct.
there. Which one is correct? Is the answer A or B? Sorry. Yeah. Is it push or look? Is the answer A or B? B, look. The answer is A, push. You see, look at, we said the modal verbs. All these ones are short. Could, should, would. Okay, and we also told you, yeah, is correct. And we also told the properties of the long one. OOK, OOL, OOD, OON. They are the other one, but we can't bother you too much. At least these ones, you can use them to navigate your exam. Okay. I also send this copy to the group WhatsApp, and I hope you can find it useful. Now, please take note. It is important you master these rules. You are going in for an exam where pronunciation matters. Even if after the exam you might not act professional, but at least for the sake of that exam, you see all of these options, list of words we grew up pronouncing wrongly. Each one of them is WAEC favorite option. Just go back, go and check your past question papers. All these words you have here, you must have added them at the point as an option or as the real word. And why are they WAEC favorite options or WAEC favorite words? Because they understand that a lot of us do not pronounce them correctly. And what is it you need to master? And this is where effort comes into play. Yeah, I don't know where you talk about success and you talk about efforts. I don't know where, how. Okay? In case you are a Christian, you understand. Even Jesus Christ's first miracle, the people will say have to go and fetch water. Effort. You did just say, okay, yes, you need wine. Oh, yeah, wine come. Lie, go and fetch water. So the people still had to go fetch water. Now you need wine. Now you go fetch. So now Jesus may go fetch water. So now you go fetch water. So you are the ones who need the A and the B in the exam. So now only you know go come now you know go come there working. Like so your effort is now required here. Village. You see, even though I pronounce it village, you see all these underlying letters, all of them they sound like your normal E, H-E-E. So that means that is village. I'll put this together, I'll send it to the group WhatsApp. You have them as options. If you don't learn to pronounce them correctly, at least for the sake of that exam, you will mess up. Because once you see village as an option, you will pronounce it as village. Once you call them as village, you will be like, say, no be answer. You just need to understand that even though we might not act professional after the exam, or even with our friends, but we must understand that as far as this exam is concerned, and guess what? It's just unfortunate we grew up with the wrong ones. It has always been village. Never a time was it village. Because the people who received it, all right, spread the wrong ones, and we began to share the wrong ones without, even bothering to check whether those guys who received it actually did the right thing. So we have village, Monday, wanted, markings, knowledge, favorites, courage, extort, legal. All these options have E. E. You have to master them. Mortgage, peasant, woman. That's in a woman. Don't be women, no. Woman, 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 woman. I think I repeated this one. Let me get the next one there. Woman. So let's go back. Look at them again. Start at least. Say whether you will learn some of them before you go, because I'm going to ask you. So at least tell me some of those words you have learned with E, even though you don't normally pronounce them with E. Oh yeah, I just have only 2 minutes. I'll get the next one on the screen here. Okay, then these ones, I've also put them together as I've seen them. Um, I've seen their frequencies also in the exam. And guess what? All these words have a long E sound. Even though they don't look, they are betrayers of our policies, betrayers of our formula, but they also have long sound. Police is a long sound. Key is a long sound. Complete is a long sound. Oblique is a long sound. So please, you can write them down because now I want us to answer 1 to 15 questions. I picked that from one of our Cambridge books, 1 to 15. I think there's still one here. So these are the words you need to master. Yeah, we find them a lot in your past question papers. Okay, I'm bringing another one, which we're adding to it at least. You will also find this one useful. Now, what is it about this one? All these words do not have all sound, which means you're going to be wrong to pronounce them with all. They don't have all sound. You'll be wrong to pronounce them without all. And these are the challenges we have in the exam, and we're worried. Once you pronounce it wrong, it should look like the right one. But that's not the right one. It's because you pronounce it as wrong. Once you pronounce it as gone, it will look like, look at it now, gone. Even sometimes, the options are not as close as we thought. It's just because the candidate is pronouncing a particular word wrongly. Because the candidate is pronouncing a particular word wrongly. Okay, and that is not giving us that kind of looks. It's giving us that, that impression of it seems this is also correct. And it's just because we are not pronouncing the word correctly. Okay, let's master them. Okay, so all of these stuffs, they are better pronounced as wrong, like car, gun, adapt, double, young, one, worry, laugh, tough. Okay, just learn some of them. I know you're already getting tired, but sincerely, these are the options we have in the exam. Okay, all these words are frequent options. So if you have not mastered them, most likely we might not be able to pronounce them correctly. Okay, let's look at the last slide. Let us look at the last slide, which is also, you also have a set of words you need to master, at least for the sake of that exam. It's about some of the words we also do not pronounce. You know, how you thought that word or this set of words were being pronounced is not the way they are pronounced. So you need to master that. I'm going to get them on the screen again. And that will form the last part. After this one, I want us to answer some questions, 1 to 15, from a particular past question paper. At least, if after the whole of this discussion, let's whether you're able to score 10 over 15, you have tried. So if we have the opportunity of another class, I want to look at the consonant sound, 16 to 30. Okay, all these words contain a sound. Even though we normally do not pronounce them with air, you just need to understand. They have a sound. For example, we have, you see, that thing is J, A, J, A. That thing is jeopardy, jeopardy, if you like, jeopardy. J, is not jeopardy or jeopardy. Journey, says, eggs, attorney, where, you see that in a where, now what they call a weapon. No be way, na a weapon, scourge. You see that thing, na kernel, no be Colonel Musa, no be call, na kernel. 10, disturb, leopard, journal, edge, purpose. You see, I put all of these stuff together. I wasn't trying to bother you, but these are the options we have seen. I studied your past question paper, saw all these options. These are words you would not have pronounced correctly. And one will fumble or mess up in that exam because they were unable to pronounce the word correctly. So while you're thinking, imagine if you had pronounced that word as Joe Paddy, Joe, you will be looking at the one will sound like Joe, but that's not true. It's not the one that sounds like Joe. You see, that's not true. It's because you didn't pronounce it correctly. So what I did was to get you to say, you know what, you can master them. After all, you see, that thing itself, don't be saying they easy for me or make I go through your past question. They look for that all the words where most likely and I know go pronounce correctly. And if you didn't pronounce those words correctly, do not be you most likely miss that question because there is a word you have not pronounced correctly. You know, easy for me, say, but effort must do this thing. You now you get exam. You supposed to do the poor effort. You know, easy. Me, I don't get exam. I need to go get carry on a past question. If you can see it, I have my see. This is a past question. I got myself a copy. Which I have it. And I'm not just even having it. I had to read it, go through it. That were all these things that I taught. I had to bring them out. These were the words you guys would have pronounced wrongly. Okay, but that's it. That's the way it works. See, we no go fit just enter our head. Effort must dey. We must sit down, carry am, go look for where e dey, write am out. All of those things. So e dey. That is the principle. It has always been like that. So I beg you, if you withhold your own effort, Baba na you can sabi you. So now your effort now remain. Okay, let's answer these 10 questions. At least even if you, tick. We'll talk about tick, busy, freak, police, caprice. You see all of them, they sound like E. But we have taught you it's about long and short. Bet, pretty, leisure, exact, pinna, card, sand, talk, guard, mad. Those are that sound like just check. Some will be long, short, rude, wool, bull, hook, food. To relax. Some of them will be long, others will be short. Boss, pocket, donkey, money, relax. You're gonna find out. How would you? All right, let's share the answer notes. No, no. Okay. I've sent the answer keys to the WhatsApp, but let me share it. I still have a copy here. So you can mark. All right. So now you can mark. You can mark and then ask questions. Okay. Please share your score. You can use the chat box. Over 10. It doesn't matter what you must have had at least. You can always go back to the boardroom and repractice. I will also try send 1 to 15. You can try that one later. Oh yeah, about me. How many of them did you get correctly? Oh yeah, now. Anyway, if you can see hear me, oh, you got only four. Okay. If you can see hear me, tick. That number one, tick. We have said EA is a long one. You see, please and caprice, they are part of those where they're asked to study. I understand because you have not studied them. Now go and study them. You'll have found them to be long and long. But of course, you know, preaching is far. Okay. Uh preaching is far. That D is not penal, it's penal. You just have to master them. Exact, that's the exact copy. So leisure, you just have to master some sounds. Card, AR, that's long. Okay. AN is not part of the long one. AD is not part of it. You can see AR is part of the long one. Card, AR, guard, AR. So that's it. Book, OOK, that's short. OL is long. OOD is long. Brush is far, so push. Rude. Rude is short. OL is long. OK is OL is long. Wool is long. Full is long. ULL is short. Hook is long here. Then you call it boss. If you call it boss, you will choose pocket because you call boss. In fact, that one you'll be disturbed. If you call it boss, you have pocket, donkey, monkey, but everything is the same. No, it's because you didn't pronounce it well. That's in like bass. So if you pronounce bass, you say pocket is gone, donkey is gone, bottle is gone. That is money, money. Now what they call am more na ma. So bass and money. You see, that's why you just have, as you're pronouncing them, you learn them. You don't have to, you are not trying to impress anyone, at least in the exam. If you can pronounce it well in the exam, you be. So that thing now, so be conscious. That's in a money that they call them. So take that, carry that consciousness to the exam. Bass, take that consciousness to the exam. Curve and word, curve. If you still pronounce and curve, you go think say na course, course. But that's curve, word, word. Take it to the class, take it to the exam room. I know this about is not too clear. The FORK, the all sound, story. Take it to the exam hall, STOR, take it to the exam hall, story. Seat, EA, long. Okay. Now, marine is also one of the words I gave to you as long. You just have to measure them. Otherwise, you'll be thinking, is it click? Is it marine? EA is long. It's part of the words I gave to you. Then there are some of them you have to learn deliberately. Marine is one of them, is also long. So I put a lot of things together for you in that final revision on vowel sound. I put them together. You already have them on WhatsApp. I know not everyone will be able to study them. Okay, but then before we go, let me send this one to us as homework for those who could. 1 to 15 questions. If we try, let's just try. At least there's something to learn there. But let me send it before we go. Okay. So I've sent it. You can revise with it. So now our next section, oh shit. Now our next section, I will just start by looking at by providing the answer notes. And okay, let's leave it this way so that everybody can get rest. It's weekend, so we can prepare properly for church and we go crown our. So they say God should crown our efforts. Where effort to come, they go. What's it God go crown? Nothing. Okay, all right. I wish you guys the best. We need to let you go now. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have a question about me? Do you have a question? Okay.